Hey Whittier, what is going on? Today is a beautiful day here in Whittier, and I'm really excited about today's video. We are going to talk to a Whittier resident, Whittier local, doing some pretty cool things, and this is going to be another series that we will incorporate into the channel over the next year here, and we'll be talking to some really cool and interesting people in the community of Whittier. So let's get into it today. Let's go check it out and get into today's video. Let's go. All right, guys, I am here with Gabe Munoz. He is a Whittier local, and I had to get down here, man, and talk to you because you're doing some really cool things with paddles, but we're going to get into that in just a minute. But what's up, man? How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Tell me, man, we met years ago, but you're a woodworker. You like to work with your hands, work with wood. And give me a little background on that. How long have you been doing that? How'd you get into it?
I've always liked making things. I was a contractor at one time. You know, I just like building things. That's what I do. Mm-hmm. That's my passion. So I don't know, about 10, 12 years ago, you know, I just started accumulating equipment. I wanted to shop. I wanted to make stuff, you know, and so I did. And I built a shop. It's a 2-car garage, but it's my joy.
You went down the rabbit hole. One thing and another. I need that. I'm
still doing it.
Yeah. You're still learning. So, you what do you like to make? Is there anything in particular that you like to make? Like how you got started, or because the stuff you make's really high end, man. It's really really nice.
Yeah, I was doing furniture for a while, and I was taking big commissions. I was doing kitchen cabinets, you know, outdoor gates, big old walnut outdoor gates and whatnot. And just whatever, I just like building stuff, you know. So I just learned and built some nice stuff.
And you got into some canoeing.
I went over here to Long Beach, and they have a canoe club there. So I inquired, and I started in the wintertime like this. They call them winter lights. Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't cost much. You go out there and canoe, and I was hooked, you know.
Yeah.
Now I have a single man outrigger, and I've got surfboards and paddle boards. And
running the canoe club and getting familiar with paddles. Natural progression for a woodworker is, I'm going to make a paddle.
Right.
I'm going to make a paddle. What's that all about? And then you go down that rabbit hole, and you made your first one?
Yes, I did. Yeah. And it was ugly. It was fat. It was heavy. Yeah. And I made probably 10 paddles before I got it relatively right. Mm-hmm. And now, you know, I'm pretty confident in my abilities, and I'm getting good reviews for the performance of the paddles themselves. It's not just a showpiece, although it can be.
Yeah, if you wanted to do something nice for the wall or something, but these are usable paddles. These are legit paddles. Yeah. Awesome. So now the paddles have become something that you're passionate about because you and your wife are constantly giving back. You know, whether it be the Whittier community or, you know, in this case, Lahaina, and you started making paddles for Lahaina.
Yes. This last August, we were there, August 8th, the day of the fire. The day before the fire, we were at Chemo's. It's a famous spot. You know, we were there, we were shopping, thinking that we went to Chemo's and ate, thinking, wow, you know what? Let's come back tomorrow and just have hula pie. They have this hula pie, it's just to die for. It's a big old huge piece of ice cream and whatnot. Anyway, so, you know, we went home, and as you know, the fires enveloped the town. You know, it's a small town, small community, and, you know, they had 80, 90 mile an hour winds, and just impossible to fight. Boom, took the whole town. And you know, there were some structures that made it, but it was devastating. So we had to evacuate. We were there a few days, and my wife and I were, you know, we got to get out of here. They don't need us here right now. They got problems. So we left. We caught a bus out. We had to drive through the fire zone. Devastating. And so we left, but the whole time I'm thinking, you know what, I gotta come back. I gotta help. You know, this is our home away from home. It turns out in these last few years, it's a place where we go. So I decided to make paddles and sell them, and 100% of the proceeds are going to. I have a couple of families that I'm sponsoring, and official Lahaina Strong. They're doing good work up there. They're fighting for dignified housing right now, and they need everybody's help. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my part for my friends.
Great. Yeah, that's great. And you've even been down there since, right? You've been down
Several
there
times,
so,
yeah.
So how have they received you? Like, how have they?
Oh, I'm like family over there.
Yeah.
You know, I've been threatened if I was ever to go to a resort that they'd drag me out of there. But the people of Lahaina are just so giving. They have nothing, and they're still giving. It's just amazing, the culture and the love, the aloha that's out there is alive and well. You know, it's these people are they don't know where they're going to go from one week to the next, but they're worried about their neighbor. And that's a kind of love that you just don't see. And that's why I'm so beholden to them, because they've given me joy every time I go there. So now it's time for us to give back. And I, you know, I welcome your support.
So take me through it real quick. That's kind of like almost the finished product right there, right?
Close.
Yeah.
There's some final work on the handle, and then I won't put a handle on it because I don't know who wants it or
Right.
who it's going to, so I could make it custom. But pretty much it's finished. It's a long process. I do like 5 at a time, because if I did 1 at a time, it'd take me 2 weeks to do 1 paddle. So if I do 5 at a time, I could do like a paddle and a half a week.
What's the square ones? What are those all about right there?
Oh, well, here's one that hasn't been glassed yet. It's a pretty little blue one.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And then this one has been shaped already. As you can see, it's got a little hook to it there, and it's even all the way through.
So you're going to cut that, obviously, to the right shape.
It'll be cut out this way.
Right.
And then there's a process where you put the band on, like here.
This epoxy that we're seeing here all the way around, how the hell do you get that on there, man?
Well, it's kind of tricky. It's probably the most labor-intensive part of it, because you have to make a cradle for this, to make a little trough. And what you do is you take a fiberglass rope and you put it in a vacuum process, and you take all the epoxy or all the air out of it, and then you set it in here. And then you wait for it to cure, and then you just shape it down to this. And what's really cool about it is you could, in the light, you know, you could see this band when you're paddling.
So when you're paddling out in the ocean and that hits the light, that's just a cool.
It's an unintended consequence. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, the one that hasn't been shaped yet, and it's just a big blob of wood, and that'll get shaped down. And then this one here, we'll take the blades. I'll glue the blades on, and this will be the start of another one. So
amazing.
And as you can see how I've already. Can you see that? How it's already been pre-designated? That's the shape it's going to be. So I cut that out on a bandsaw, and then I put the fins on, and I know how deep to go when I'm shaping the.
How long does it take to make one of these?
Start to finish?
Yeah.
Week and a half, 2 weeks.
That's if you're going pretty hard, or is that just casual, at your own pace?
You got to wait for the epoxy to dry. So it's got a cure day.
Yeah.
And there's several processes that you have to do. So that's why I do so many at a time, because you're not waiting for the paint to dry, so to speak.
Exactly.
So it's a lot. These are all paddles. So you pull one out. You know, I've got stuff everywhere. You pull one out, like anyone at random, and it's a butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
And you do your paddle that way. Or you do that, whichever, but they're all butterflied, so that the paddles, you know.
And you glue them together, obviously.
Yeah, we put the shaft in between. And I would probably flip it this way. It looks a little better, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're all butterflies.
If I see this right here, it says Gabe's paddles for Lahaina right here. So you get that nice marking there so they know where they're coming from. Like Gabe said, he's just doing his part and put so much time and effort into each paddle. You can feel the love when you grab one of these paddles and take hold. The amount of time and effort and detail that goes into each paddle is truly amazing and beautiful. And as you can see right there, when the light shines through, that unintended consequence really, really makes that paddle very cool.
I'm trying to get a little content out there to make it a little bit interesting.
Yeah, so if you're out there and you want to follow Gabe, we're going to put the address here. But also ask him questions because, like you just said, he's not this Instagrammer on social media every day and stuff like that. So when he comes on, he wants to know what you guys want to know about, what you guys want to learn. Maybe you have a question about paddles or something like that. He would definitely love to answer those questions. So make sure when you go and follow our friend Gabe here, ask him some questions and let him know what you're interested in because he is all about it and he'd definitely help you out. And I see this beautiful piece of walnut here, man. This is a massive piece of walnut. What's the deal? What are we doing here?
Well, that's my last piece, and I'm saving it for something special. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it's beautiful. When you cut it up, it's marbled, and it's just exquisite.
Wow.
Walnut. So, I don't know.
You could pretty much do anything you want with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tabletop.
It's 4 inches thick, and it's beautiful.
All right, guys, well, there you go. Gabe Munoz. And Gabe, thank you, man. I appreciate you having me down here,
absolutely.
man. Thank you. It's been a really great time spending some time in your shop and learning a little bit about what you do. And yeah, man, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
And one other thing is, Bob is a credit to our community, man. He, give him a follow. And he's taking care of the Whittier community, and what he's doing is awesome. So thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabe Munoz, another awesome Whittier resident doing his part for Lahaina. And that is so commendable. He's just doing it from the heart, and you can feel it. So follow him on Instagram and support if you can. He'd really appreciate it.